All right, guys, it's that time once again to discuss what I'm buying this month. And there are some massive names on this list as well this time around. But like always, some of your favorites may not have made it, but at least hear me out before you get mad at me for it. So I will give all the stocks that I'm looking to buy right now this month, all the reasons behind it, and everything else. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth off the hype, because that's exactly what you're going to get today, guys. You're not going to get a lot of hype. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about stocks I want to buy, and typically they're not really in a big hype cycle whenever I want to buy them. Right here on this channel, we're all about buying low and then holding the stock itself. That's kind of what we like to do here. Now remember, these are just the stocks that I'm personally targeting right now for my portfolio, my plan, for my goals, and everything else of that nature. So I understand some of your plans may be different, some of your goals may be different, and that's okay. I'm just kind of giving you guys an example here of what I'm looking to buy. And also keep in mind, we all have different types of expertise and such. So for me, there's a lot of stocks on a great discount right now, but I just don't understand that sector intimately. So it wouldn't make my list because I don't understand that stock on a high level. And I don't believe, at least for myself personally, I'm not going to own something that I can't understand on a high level, because every time I've done that, which we've all done that before, at some point in time, you invest long enough, you're going to do it. You end up not understanding what you own, which of course means you can't tell is a big significant dip. Is that actually an opportunity? Or is there an actual problem with the company and the stock itself? You can't know that if you don't understand the stock and the industry and what they do, the business model and everything else intimately. So we also all can come up with different valuations for stocks. Now, generally, you're right, they kind of all stack in a range there, but we can have differing opinions on what the correct valuation should be, especially a newer, higher growth company. At that stage, the valuation is kind of murky anyways, right? So it kind of means you're going to have a wider divergent opinion. Now, of course, you can basically throw out the ultra low and the ultra high, you got to kind of get rid of both of those. But in the end, the only valuation I need to use is my own valuation. And I always suggest you guys do the same exact thing. Even if they end up being different from mine, that's okay. That could have to do with our plan. That could have to do with our risk tolerance. That could have to be with our assumptions that we make on the business, or maybe we feel the strength of the business itself, or it can be just something as simple as the conviction in the business itself in the first place. So don't take it personally if we have different valuations, think different things, whatever the case is, that's okay. The beauty of investing is we can all win doing it 1,000 different ways. You could pick 20 stocks, I can pick 20 stocks or 10 stocks, and somebody else could pick 10 stocks, and we can all have a massive winning portfolio over the long run. That's what I love about stock investing. So first up is PayPal. Well, you guys know, I may keep it on the list forever just simply to keep it on there, because it feels like, and we have been able to buy PayPal at an undervalued territory for a long time there, but I like everything that's going on with the company. I like the earnings. I like the guidance. I like everything that's going on there. Of course, it's not, we're not getting the stock price appreciation that I feel we should yet, but that's okay. That's not my job to decipher that. It's not my job to do that. That's Wall Street's job to figure that out in the end, and it will eventually get there. In the meantime, I don't know how many more shares I'm going to add, but I'm going to add a small batch of shares here, small batch of shares there, just simply because capital needs to be deployed. And right now, man, it's hard to say that PayPal isn't at a buy now valuation, because the valuation continues to be cheap, at least in the meantime there. I think a lot of the big years for a lot of these stocks is 2026 and 2027. And that's okay. That means in the meantime, we're going to get a chance to add to these stocks at stupid valuations for those runs later on. So yes, it's on a great discount, but I got plenty of PayPal, so I don't feel the need to add a lot more. Next up is SoFi. This is a business you guys know that I love. We have loved it since it was down in the $4 range. Actually, I liked the company before then. Seeing the turnaround at Noto and that team have executed has been nothing short of just excellent. It is excellence in execution in regards to how you turn around a business and turn it around quickly and profitably, more importantly. Yeah, I know there was a wrestling reference in there ahead of time for those of you guys that are clued into that. That wasn't my intention, but that's kind of how it came out now that I'm thinking about it while we're, live on camera, of course. Always how that stuff goes. Yes, my mind is quite random like that at times. But anyways, back on track with SoFi here. Great company, great business. I know it's had a little bit of a run here, but it's not crazy overvalued like a lot of other stocks I want to add to are right now. So it may be one that I just put on a simple DCA, continue to add shares, of course, on our $250 portfolio challenge. I think I bought SoFi almost every week of that challenge now for more than a year. And of course, that's returned wonderfully in that meantime. And of course, my overall average in all my big portfolios there is significantly lower than where it's at right now. But that doesn't mean you don't keep adding to a great stock. If you're getting a good valuation and a reasonable deal on a great company, you just buy it and you kind of move forward. And that's exactly what we're getting with SoFi here. Don't buy any of the hype garbage around it. Don't buy any of the negative. Oh my gosh, Noto's the worst CEO ever. Or, somehow it's going to go to $75 by the end of the year and the other ridiculous things out there like that. Ignore all that sort of stuff. Stick to your fundamentals here with this stock and you're going to be just fine. It's a great company that's executing on a high level. And right now, I think you're going to be very happy with shares you buy today, 3 years from now. And that's the reason why I like SoFi so much. Next up is Amazon. Now this one has been on a good run, but to me, it's close enough to where anything under $200 is a buy for me for Amazon there. Obviously, if you guys have been paying attention the past couple of months, we were getting shares significantly cheaper than that. So we were able to add nice big batches of shares multiple times over the past month or two. And that's awesome. But it doesn't mean I take it off my list either. Yes, I own plenty of Amazon shares. I'm well into bonus shares. I've owned this company forever, it feels like. But a great company and a great business you continue to add to whenever valuations were cheap. And just a month or two ago, the valuation was one of the cheapest that it's ever been for Amazon. And that's saying something given its history there. So although it's run up from that point, man, it gets underneath $200. I'll be buying more shares of Amazon once again. So it's definitely one, hey, great business. Who doesn't think Amazon's not going to be massively larger than they are right now in 5 years? I don't think anybody thinks that at all. Even the bearish of the bears, I don't think they think that either. So this one for me, that's why it makes my list. Next up is Meta. Now, let me be upfront. Meta is not close to my price target there. Again, I own a ton of Meta. Obviously, when we get the opportunity to add it under $100 like we did a few years ago, I added obscene amounts of Meta, way more than I probably should have. But it was just such a steal deal. I mean, we're talking, a multiple of 8 or 9. I think it maybe even dipped down a little bit lower than that at one point in time. That is ridiculous, once in a lifetime type opportunities on an incredible cash flowing business like Meta. So I actually own way too much of this. So I have a pretty low price target here, but with the behemoth delay and all the hype around AI and everything else of that nature, do I put it past Wall Street to decide to take profits off of Meta for a little bit and kind of push other stocks in the meantime? No, I don't. And that's the reason why I have it on here, because it's such a great business that who freaking cares the behemoth's delayed 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever the case is. Doesn't matter. Great business even without that. I don't care one bit. Name me another better advertiser out there. There isn't one. If you want to say Google, okay, but anybody else isn't even in the ballpark there. This business is, what, tariffs are going to affect, Meta? I don't think so. Doesn't really have much of an impact, if any impact there on Meta. So a lot of the other things going on around the world just really don't have an impact on Meta's bottom line at all, which of course, if those things do start hitting the bottom line of various companies, Wall Street is going to be running to the companies that are absolutely printing money despite the tariffs and everything else going on right now geopolitically and everything else. So puts Meta in a prime position there to be a big winner, not only now, but in the future as well, especially since they have tons of monetization levers that they haven't even pulled yet. It's just a great business overall. I understand a lot of folks don't like Zuckerberg, totally understand. Not my favorite person either, but I can't say he doesn't run a great business and a business that prints money and makes money for shareholders. So it's one, hey, Wall Street wants to get silly here again about all the behemoth noise and oh my gosh, they're behind in the AI race or whatever, all the narratives have been out there for a lot of great stocks. Fine, I'll happily add more shares of Meta, because with every single share of Meta I've owned, it's been easy money, and that'll be the case once again. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, that is held true with every single share by a mile. All right, so let's move on to the final stock, and that stock would be Google. Again, it's beaten down. I don't know why everybody thinks they're behind in the space. I don't know why I continue to see comments in my videos. I see videos by other creators. I see people on CNBC and everywhere else come on and say, oh my gosh, they're behind in the AI race and ChatGPT is eating up search. But yet in their earnings calls, which is the only thing that matters, not narratives, not YouTube videos, not anything else, in their earnings call, they continue to say search is growing. Not only growing, it's growing by double digits. So if that's getting eaten up, that's wonderful. Like, this is incredible. Somehow it's the opposite, right? I mean, whenever I'm eating a pizza and I eat, 20%, I eat 2 of the slices, the pizza doesn't get bigger, right? It's less pizza that was there before. So that tells me all those narratives are complete garbage. Nobody has figured out how to monetize any of the LLMs. Who's ahead and who's behind kind of depends upon whether or not you like Grok or you like ChatGPT or you like Google. How is all this going to play out long term? Nobody has any real long term vision for any of this sort of thing. And more importantly, there's going to be 1,000 different strategies that win in the AI space. We're seeing that right now with Palantir winning, but they're doing something completely different than what ChatGPT is, for example. So there's going to be lots of different ways to win, lots of different avenues to go at. Nobody has even remotely figured out how to crack the code on advertising outside of Meta. And again, it's Meta, Google right there at the top and not even close. Everybody else is like way down here, guys, out of the screen. Meta and Google, that's it. Those are the only two that you want to be involved with when it comes to online advertising at scale if you want the best bang for your buck. And it's not even close. Still isn't close. So I don't know. Google has that as well. Not worried about the Justice Department stuff. We discussed that before. They get split up into, okay, now I own two great stocks because, again, no matter how they decide to divide this up, if that actually happens, once it goes to the appeals process and all the other legal proceedings and everything else of that nature, which usually turn around and end up being a nothing burger in the end. But even if it does, I'm still going to make a lot of money if they decided to divide that out. So either way, I see this as a massive opportunity to where people will look back a few years and go, man, I don't know what we were thinking with that one. Well, they sure have turned around the business. No, they didn't. You guys just weren't paying attention to the earnings calls. You guys were running around with all the narratives and all the Wall Street narratives and everything else. Those of us right here on this channel, and those of us out there, that you guys that are prudent investors, you guys will have seen this a mile away, just like we do with just about everything, you know, our Palantirs and every other stock that we've been way ahead of those guys on. This right here is another one where, hey, we're paying attention into those earnings calls. You'll see it's a massive, massive opportunity. So for me, I'm buying more shares of Google stock. And if you want to see all those buy and sell alerts in real time, and you want direct access to my watch list complete with price targets for every stock that I'm looking to buy, and you want to just be serious about your investing, I may have left something special down in the pinned comment for those of you guys that have stuck around this long. Check it out and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.